Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this week's Firefly Fun House theory video. I love doing these videos, so I am really excited to bring this to you. It's a little bit later than usual because I have actually got a very interesting theory that I want to go through first. And let's get straight to it because there was a whole lot of dialogue in the second part of the episode. Which I've got written down here that I think was very interesting. Okay, let's go through it. I've got the transcript. It says, our good friend Seth Rollins will be trapped in there with him. I think he will always protect this place and us. He will die on that hill. But I have a good feeling he'll come back no matter what. But I don't think Seth will be so fortunate. In fact, I've got a very bad feeling that he cannot wait to hurt Seth. I'm going to try and find him and tell him to be nice to Seth Rollins. Just kidding. Right, that was a bit of dialogue in the second part of this episode. And what is missing there? The Fiend. The Fiend is not mentioned in all of that dialogue. He keeps using words like he, him, heel, but he doesn't mention the Fiend. And I don't know why, because he's mentioned the Fiend all the time in previous episodes. He's got no problem talking about the Fiend and saying the Fiend, but he doesn't mention him once here. Has he said something to imply the Fiend when in actual fact he's talking about someone else? Could it be that this Sunday at Hell in a Cell there will be someone else in Hell in a Cell along with the Fiend? Is someone going to help the Fiend win the Universal Championship? That's my theory, okay? Now, this isn't news. It's not a rumour. It's not a spoiler. It's a theory, and I'm telling you what I'm basing it off. The fact that he's always spoken about the Fiend, but he didn't here. And then, of course, last week we got that picture that was hung up on the wall saying always room for one more. Now, what was interesting was there was no extra victims added to the wall this week. So what was that in reference to? What was last week about? Why was it blank? And where has it gone? Always room for one more. Certainly sounds like we're adding something in. Could it be that he's letting someone in to his universe, to his world? The other thing as well is at the end of this, he goes off to tell this person to be nice to Seth Rollins. Well, who is he telling? Because he is the Fiend and he knows that the Fiend lives within him. The Fiend is his darkness. So where is he physically going to tell this person? Who is he actually looking for? Now, granted, he does come back and say, just kidding. But where did he go? Why did he leave the screen? Who is he looking for? Again, just a few interesting things there. A few interesting moments that did stick with me. And just got me questioning, will the Fiend be alone this weekend? Because I honestly thought that someone like The Undertaker could cost the Fiend the title at Hell in a Cell. But now I'm starting to think that someone, maybe The Undertaker, might help the Fiend this weekend. Because something else happened, which was Seth was announced as the captain of Team Hogan. So in Saudi Arabia, at Crown Jewel, we're getting Team Flair versus Team Hogan. And what's interesting here is Seth Rollins is the captain of Team Hogan. Now, that is big because I don't think you're going to have Seth in that match and the Universal Championship match. And you're going to have a Universal Championship match, aren't you? Of course you are. You're not going to go to Saudi Arabia and not do a Universal Championship match. So why is Seth in this Team Flair versus Team Hogan match? Who's going to be in the Universal Championship match? Of course, Seth could work both, or he could be removed from Team Flair versus Team Hogan, but that wouldn't make much sense to do that. So I'm just wondering, is The Fiend winning this weekend? And is someone helping him win this weekend? Maybe WWE have invested so much into Seth, built Seth up so much they don't want him to lose clean. So they're happy to put the belt on the Fiend, but it's got to be with a bit of a screwy finish. And maybe they want someone bursting through the ring and costing Seth the match. Just a speculation, just a theory based on what we've gone through there. And there's other things as well in this episode that we need to talk about, so let's get straight to it. Of course, we have already mentioned that the pictures hadn't really changed in the background. There was no Braun Strowman added to the Wall of Friendship, which I know upset a few people. That could have been done on purpose, though, because I think a lot of the people in the background are friends now, if you will. Like, the Fiend attacked them. He didn't really have any issues with them. They paid their dues, and now they're on the Wall of Friendship, okay? Even Seth is on the Wall of Friendship. They're going to have this match at Hell in a Cell. But we've heard a lot about how the Fiend wants to protect Seth. Finally, this week, we saw the Fiend attack Seth as we get closer to Hell in a Cell. But he's still on the Wall of Friendship. Braun isn't. I don't think Braun Strowman has actually paid his dues yet. Yeah, what Braun did by abandoning Bray, abandoning the Wyatt family, I don't think the Fiend has got his revenge for that yet. That one-off attack last week with the mandible claw, which, fair play, he had to apply twice. I don't think he regards that as payment. I don't think he regards them as being even. And so for that reason, maybe that's why Braun isn't on the Wall of Friendship yet. So some people saying that it looked like a mistake, that Braun should have been on there. Maybe he hasn't qualified. Maybe he's just not at the point where he can go onto the wall. And as we said, that blank picture and black picture frame and everything, that was completely missing this week. So again, something else that was very, very interesting. Another thing as well was the fact that Ramblin' Rabbit died. What I would say is, don't worry, I'm pretty sure he will come back. But he died, and obviously we saw a very sad Bray Wyatt, who basically overcame that sadness very quickly and threw Ramblin' Rabbit away. Which I thought was fun. We have seen this in the past, and Ramblin' Rabbit should return. There was a nice few horror references as well. You know, The Exorcist was mentioned. Huskus talking about how he was forced to watch that film repeatedly. And also, I thought this, you can see on here, like, this image of Bray pulling a very weird expression. Kind of very much reminded me of the Scream, the painting The Scream. And I know that painting is all about an internal struggle. It's about panic attacks and anxiety, kind of wrestling with yourself, which is very much what Bray Wyatt is doing at the moment. So I kind of liked that reference as well. We also heard some women screams and laughter when Huskus was told that Hell in a Cell was like a world without chocolate. We heard a woman screaming, and then Bray said, but only worse. Then we heard kids laughing, and again, a woman laughing. Now, I can't say if that sounds like Liv Morgan or not. I honestly don't know. A lot of people are still excited about the idea of Liv Morgan joining the Funhouse. I can take it or leave it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I at the moment, I'm not expecting it. There's not been enough to kind of suggest that we're going that way. But there was a few little interesting quotes in the Funhouse that people picked up on. I've got them written here. So, say bye, Mercy, at the very end of this. That's what Bray said. He turned and he said, say bye, Mercy. A lot of people saying, was he saying that as a hidden message to Seth for this Sunday? Say goodbye to Mercy because there'll be no mercy for you. I don't feel it personally, but I'm only telling you what people are saying. The fact that he said heel as well, which we spoke about earlier. A lot of people thought that was a reference to Hurt and Heel. Again, I don't really see it personally, but if if you want to go that way, that's absolutely fine. The other one as well was when he was talking about Hell in a Cell being a place you can enter, but you can never leave, not without emotional and physical scars. Now, we think he was talking about Hell in a Cell. He might have been talking about the Firefly Fun House. Again, something that's got that double meaning, which I thought was very interesting. And Liv Morgan, just to go back to that theory, she did tweet out about the fact that you can't see her scars. And again, he's talking here about mental scars. So, again, nice little reference there also. So, there was quite a few little bits in here. I can tell you there was, like, people have been in touch with me about the L that's on the box, Mercy the Buzzard's box. I don't think there's anything in that, because if you just look behind the Funhouse logo, you can see a slight mark, which suggests that the L is backwards, the other side. So it could just be markings on the box. People saying, does the L stand for Liv Morgan? I really think now people are really just looking for Liv Morgan references, which I totally understand, because these things do jump out at you. And I can't say that they're not there for that reason, because honestly at this stage, who knows? But I'm getting less and less convinced about the Liv Morgan thing as time goes by. The big theory that I've got is the one that we started this episode with. Was Bray talking about someone else? We're going to find out very, very soon. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.